Gas prices in America are still high, painfully high.
They're going to drop like a rock as soon as
it's over.
Yeah,
painfully high though now, and could be creeping higher
lower
before
than
it's
Biden,
done.
Excuse me, lower than Biden, and much lower than people thought they'd be.
This inflation number is going up. You're right. It's much lower than President Biden's was, but it's going up under you. The numbers are. You can imagine Democrats and political pundits jumped all over this statement that you made the other day. You were asked when you were leaving.
What extent are American financial situations motivating you to make a deal?
Not even a little bit. The only thing that matters that I'm talking about Iran, they can't have a nuclear weapon. I don't think about American financial situation. I don't think about anybody. I think about one thing. We cannot let Iran have a nuclear weapon. That's all.
That's right. That's a perfect statement. I'd make it again.
You can imagine how many people stop the soundbite I don't think about America's financial situation. So what's your response to that framework?
It's very simple. When people hear me say it, everybody agrees. Short-term pain. It's going to be short-term pain. But the pain is much less than people thought. Because people thought that the oil would go up to $250. You know, it was $99 yesterday, $99 a barrel. I thought it might go up to $200. I was okay with that. Not that I wanted it, but you cannot let them have a nuclear weapon. They will use it on us. They'll start off with Israel, wipe it out. The Middle East, wipe it out. It'll go to Europe. You know, they have a missile that goes to Europe. You saw that, okay? They have a missile that goes to Europe. I have done Europe a very big favor. When you tell somebody you're going to have to pay a little more, not that much more, a little more for gasoline for a very short period of time, because we want to stop the threat of being blown to pieces by a lunatic, by a crazy person, and they are crazy, using nuclear weapons. Everybody says that's fine. And that question was a fake question.
Hey guys, Carlos Cortez here with another episode of Scriptures and Wall Street. I am recording this weekend show from Boston in the hotel room for my son's travel hockey tournament once again. If you are travel dads, you know the immense commitment it takes to bring your kid to these tournaments and the planning that is required. So here I am. I'm still delivering content as I promised. But more importantly, I just want to say thank you. Thank you for your time. Thank you for supporting my channel. And thank you for just giving us a call and allowing us to pour into your thought process and your personal situations. We've gotten a lot of phone calls from people all over the country. It's such a blessing to speak to all you guys because you truly do stretch me and make me a better person by allowing me to help you. So thank you so much. If you haven't had a chance, definitely like and subscribe our Rumble channel, our YouTube channel, Spotify, as well as Apple Podcasts. We're on those 4 platforms for now till, until they aren't, for many reasons. But yes, thank you. Thank you for continuing to watch and support us here at Scriptures on Wall Street. If you haven't had a chance, or if anything I say today resonates with you, whether it's your retirement, whether it's just investments, whether you want to talk about how you can improve your certain situation, give us a call. Our office is 813-448-3446. We are on Tampa, Florida time, which is the East Coast, and we do cater to businesses all over the country, even Hawaii, but I generally don't like working those hours, although we do have a new associate advisor that will. So it doesn't matter where you're at anymore, as long as you give us a call, 813-448-3446. And let me say my disclosure here, everything on this podcast is meant for information and education purposes only. I am not giving investment advice, although I am a financial advisor. Everything on this podcast should not constitute as investment advice. If you would like investment advice, give us a call, 813-448-3446. I'm only offering information and education on this episode and podcast. So a lot of the calls we got today were literally about precious metals. Like, what is silver doing? How do I sell it? I didn't know I had to pay 25-30% to get out. And is it a good time to sell? Jerome Powell's out of the office. So who is this new Fed chair? What's his plans? The calls are coming in. People are just confused on what to do in this current marketplace. We have retirements. We have people investing money. We have a lot of people going full blown crazy on silver right now. And we're going to look at silver. We're going to look at oil and some other market updates I have for you. But with the Kevin Warsh deal, this is a big deal, guys, because Warsh is basically a massive figure in finance, right? Has a lot of policy circles. More importantly, is connected with a lot of Wall Street executives. He's got a background with Morgan Stanley. There's a big role with the Fed that he's going to be playing. You tie in all the political relationships and the economic ideology and his institutional networking. There's a huge influence on that. And not to mention, he's married to Jane Lauder. Yes, the family of Estee Lauder companies. And we know Estee Lauder is a Jewish, family is Jewish. So whatever your opinion is on that, at some point, guys, we have to start talking about how much are we in alignment with other countries, not just America. What happened to keeping America first? What happened to truly keeping America first? Why are we being world police for other countries when we have our own veterans struggling to pay bills? We have single moms struggling to get welfare or even EBT cards or any supplemental assistance just with food alone. We have so much damage here in America just with student loans, predatory student loans, mind you. And we're funding and keep on funding things that don't even affect the American people or help the American people, I would say. It is disgusting to see the printing of money that's happening. People have silver. Hopefully you bought it when it was $18, $20 an ounce. And now it's up to 75. And hopefully you sold a little bit when it was at 117, 116 before it came crashing down. So those are the pitfalls you need to start watching because they are out there, guys. They're completely out there. And we had this one conversation with this one gentleman today, a few $1 million in the bond market. And he says, Carlos, very interested in learning about this green money and your yellow money. And I asked him one simple question. He kept on going for 15, 20 minutes about his portfolio and real estate development. And I actually enjoyed listening to him. What's interesting, though, is he was completely sold out, deep into it, the red money. All I heard was bonds this, these bonds are great, these bonds have done this, these bonds have done that, but they haven't been performing well. These bonds and the market. And I said, just stop right there. Stop right there. Because I get all the talk. I could talk stock market. I could talk anything you want, come financial. But when we focus on our retirement, there's a different verbiage that goes around with that. There's no longer, hey, I'm going to put my money in NVIDIA because earnings coming out this week and I'm going to make 30, 40%, whether it's negative earnings or positive earnings. We got to stop gambling because there's a reason why you feel a lot of fear, uncertainty, and doubt. It's because there's no plan in place. You have no one to talk to. And more importantly, you're not confident on the plan that you have placed because there isn't any. So we want to iron that out, guys. We want to have the ability to completely have full confidence in your retirement. And let me tell you, with what's going on with Kevin Warsh, I don't trust it. I don't trust it. It's just another one head on a beast. After slicing one off, we got another head on a 12-headed beast. Kevin Warsh is just a simple spokesman. So what does this all have to do with me, Carlos? Well, it has a lot to do with your retirement, because based on the uncertainty right now in the markets, it will bring fear and greed, and we'll get these divergence when price goes up and the momentum is the opposite way. That's a classic divergence. When there's divergence, there's so much volatility. Now, fortunately for my clients that have green money, they're going to love volatility. And I'll show you some charts here.
If you currently have money in the bank, a 401k, or even precious metals in an IRA, you may want to listen up. You're going to want to have a place where you have a guarantee on your funds. As we go into a lower interest rate environment, banks will be stressed out when the commercial real estate crisis happens. Right now, you can get a guarantee, yes, a guarantee on your principal, and get a bonus. If you're younger than 65 years of age, we can utilize an insurance-based contract that has been around for over 100 years. We want to help you find a guarantee on your funds that are actually outside of banking laws, outside of securities laws. And guess what? You get a guarantee on your funds. You get a guarantee on your principal. Go to greenmoneysolutions.com, fill out your information, and let's just see if you qualify.
So I wanted to share this one chart real quick. This is a QQQ growth index. It's going to be the NASDAQ. NASDAQ is up already 8% year to date. Let me just show you guys this. This is the NASDAQ is up 8%. This is up 7.23. That's incredible. The 1 year on this puppy is 19.12. What if I told you can make 100% of this index with no fees and no risk? I think you would like that. It follows, here's what this index does. It fully goes to 80, even up to 80, 90%. It actually goes high leaning equity in the QQQs. And when it senses volatility, 70% in the QQQ, another 25 to 30% is in 10-year treasury, and then it actually has some in cash. So what it's actually going to do is anytime it senses volatility to the up or downside, it is going to load up on the QQQs, which is a NASDAQ, and more if the NASDAQ goes down, this will increase the actual red bar here, the 10-year treasury, as it did in December 2008. It went full-blown, fixed income, which is smart. But look at the returns on this puppy, man. 2023, a 30, a 22, a negative 20. So negatives are good here because you get a 0. The year before that was 15, a 21, a 26. Guys, these are really good returns. These aren't fake returns, by the way. And so year to date, we are looking at 7.23, another banger year. Last year, it did 19.12. The S&P 500 did 16. The NASDAQ did 21%. So we were able to get pretty much the NASDAQ-based returns without any other risk. This is important for you to understand, because we are over here come December 31st, 2025. And check out this puppy, over 8,000 on May 8th of 2026. Substantial growth. I'm in love with this account. So we can actually get access to this account, A-rated carrier. This is option 3 when you go to greenmoneysolutions.com. We can actually get into this account and never lose a penny when it does go negative. And then when it pops back up, we're going to get all the upswings, and we have the ability to capture and lock in those gains as they come in. So that's a huge blessing right there, to have this conversation with someone that didn't even know that they were in red money. They had no idea what red money stood for. They had no idea what yellow money was. And more importantly, did not even understand green money, wanted somebody to send him information and talk to him. And we'll do that.
If you currently have money in the bank, a 401k, or even precious metals in an IRA, you may want to listen up. You're going to want to have a place where you have a guarantee on your funds. As we go into a lower interest rate environment, banks will be stressed out when the commercial real estate crisis happens. Right now, you can get a guarantee, yes, a guarantee on your principal, and get a bonus. If you're younger than 65 years of age, we can utilize an insurance-based contract that has been around for over 100 years. We want to help you find a guarantee on your funds that are actually outside of banking laws, outside of securities laws. And guess what? You get a guarantee on your funds. You get a guarantee on your principal. Go to greenmoneysolutions.com, fill out your information, and let's just see if you qualify.
So another thing you should be asking yourself is, am I prepared for the new Fed chair? What does this mean to the average American? How does this affect our consumer price index, the CPI, orange juice, toilet paper, gas, petroleum, the meats that we eat, the everyday groceries? And unfortunately, even people on Social Security, like Social Security does not even equate, when you get a COLA adjustment, does not even equate for food and petroleum. As a matter of fact, they'll look at the staples, the CPI index, and they'll look at everything except for gas and food. The two biggest sectors that are massively, massively overinflated. So when you include gas and petroleum, you're really around 26, 27% inflation. You take those two sectors out, then this is what the bro investors, the woke media says, oh yeah, inflation's under control, because it's only like 2.4, 2.9. Now, the Fed is now saying that it's around 3%. So I think their target was around 2.1 when Jerome Powell was in. Furthermore, Kevin Warsh is going in on Monday, the 18th. And there's an announcement in mid-June. So this is going to be interesting, because I said it last year and I got a lot of heat. It was very controversial. I said they may even increase the rates. Yes, I know we're on this obsession of lower interest rates, but I think they're going to actually increase the rates, because the Fed doesn't even know what they're doing, and they're always late to the game. I think they, quote unquote, cooled off the economy too fast, where the job markets are not even, they're depressing the job markets. What's really in the gutter is not only the job market, but the thing that runs everything in our economy is consumer confidence. When you have consumer behavior, consumer confidence completely just in the gutter, the American is not going to spend money on things he doesn't have to. More importantly, if I was to pull 100 people right off the street and I would ask them one simple question: where or how do you feel? Where do you think the economy is going? How do you feel about the current marketplace and economy? I guarantee you that maybe only 30% of them would have something positive to say. Everybody is hurting. Everyone is hurting. And the reason why is because the wages have never kept up with inflation. And although the Fed is completely concerned about inflation, we see the job market not even keeping up with inflation. We have all-time 401k withdrawals. Cars are being repossessed. Foreclosures are all-time high. Payday loans and bankruptcies are completely off the charts right now. Bank deposits are low. New construction loans are getting harder to get, and the credit is tightening, where contractors themselves don't even have the money to operate. They don't even have money to finish a project. And we're talking about middle of America backbone companies that are legit construction companies. They don't have the funds to finish the project because it's all tied up in the expenses of the PPI index, the coppers, the silvers, the material, the time, the equipment. So we are experiencing a lot of downside as we speak. So Kevin Warsh is coming in June 18th. Guys, there's going to be some fireworks, man. And all I'm saying is that you got to have a tactical plan going into this economy. What is a tactical plan? A tactical plan is where you can go to work with your doctor, attorney, a dentist, an administrative assistant, a sales manager, a sales rep, whatever, a business owner, whatever it is, you need to have things on autopilot to the point where if the market goes down, because it eventually will, and when it does, it's going to shock the world. When that market does come down, so how are we going to navigate this? So my whole point of this podcast is not just to show you charts and throw scripture at you but to actually give you some solutions here. Like, we need a plan. We need to understand that if you're a bond investor, people buy bonds because of safety. People buy bonds, or people buy silver and gold because they believe the dollar is going to crash. But listen to how ass backwards this is. You buy bonds because you want the coupon. You buy bonds because you don't want to be in the stock market. And I love bonds for a certain portion of your portfolio. But bonds is a crying help to say, hey, I want safety. I don't want to be in the stock market, and I want income. And good kudos on you that you said, I want income, because retirement is about two things: income and consistency. Or another semantical word I could say is safety. Income and safety. But we failed to nail the income part. We failed to nail the safety part. When you have these bonds that are paying a high coupon, yes, we like it. But when interest rates go up, your bond prices go down. When interest rates go down, your bond prices go up. So now we're seeing more volatility in the bond market because we are getting both seesaw effects. What have interest rates been doing since 2022 to 2024? They've been coming down. So therefore, the bond market, the interest rates from 2022 to 2024 have been going up. So your bond prices have lost tremendous amount of value. And these are why bond indices have had some good capital appreciation. No one's really talked about it. But in 2008, if you remember, the bond market was steady. There was a crash of 2008, and the bond market was up well over 7%. And a lot of people made money in the bond market. So I like the bond market. It's a great alternative. The problem is it does have interest rate risk, and interest rate risk is a real thing. So we have a Fed that doesn't have a chair at this moment. A temporary chair is still Jerome Powell till the 18th. We're getting the 18th. We don't know what Kevin Warsh is going to do. How tied, how closely correlated is he with Trump? We know that his wife is part of the Estee Lauder family. Well, you know that regime there? Now's the time to use your discernment, guys. now's the time to use our discernment. This is why we can't trust in the government. We can't trust in the dollar. We can't trust in anything. We got to trust in what God says. Our confidence comes from the Lord, and that we need to prepare for all situations. We need to have the ability to stand 10 toes in the ground and not worry about what the U.S. government is going to throw at us. If we're going to have a war, like, it doesn't matter. So what? We found out that Israel's behind it all the demonic junk that's been happening. So what if we find out that the Europeans are behind it all? Guys, it doesn't matter. The Zionists don't come in one race. They come in all race. And it's, at the end of the day, it's evil versus good. There's no ethnicity about it. And we got to be prepared for it. We have to be prepared. And how we start financially is being a good steward. How we start right now is getting on our knees and asking God, I need less of me and more of you, whatever that looks like. I need less of me and more of you. Our egos, our money, our sins, our desires that are not fulfilling us or our family, whatever that is, less of me and more of you, God. And when you become one with our Savior, he gives us this visions. He gives us this favor. He gives us this Malachi 3 contractual rights, that we become a vessel where he just pours and pours and pours into. And you become unstoppable, like it says in Isaiah 54. You become confident because you just have a spiritual confidence that you are a child of God. And that has power, man. It has power where you can just watch the news and just laugh. And it's a holy laughter. It's a laughter that you know you're going to be taken care of. Daddy's got you. Period. And the same way is how we feel when we have our retirement in order. Many of you have called and said, I got this 401k. I don't know what to do with it. And there's so much there's so much fear, uncertainty, and doubt. I think I told you about a story about a Spirit Airlines pilot that called me just weeks before. And he said, Mr. Cortez, I there's something going on. There's writing on the wall. And literally within 1 week, Spirit Airlines went bankrupt. There's many of you out there, not just him, but there's many of you that you see the writing on the wall. And actually, it talks about that in the Bible where he gives us signs and wonders, but many do not do anything. He says that passive will pay the penalty. The moment you see something and you're passive about it and you don't do anything, you hope it goes away, do not complain when you pay the penalty. You have to do something. This is a problem I have with people that just keep on stacking precious metals. They don't realize, you're stacking precious metals and you've been doing it for 20 years, but eventually interest rates go down, interest rates go up, stock market goes down, so does precious metals. Oh, and let me tell you that just the same way they brought the dollar down, you don't think they can raise the dollar back up? Let's talk about that. I just don't want to talk about it. I want to show you. Is that okay to just actually show you? So I'm not just talking out of my you-know-what.
If you currently have money in the bank, a 401k, or even precious metals in an IRA, you may want to listen up. You're going to want to have a place where you have a guarantee on your funds. As we go into a lower interest rate environment, banks will be stressed out when the commercial real estate crisis happens. Right now, you can get a guarantee, yes, a guarantee on your principal and get a bonus. If you're younger than 65 years of age, we can utilize an insurance-based contract that has been around for over 100 years. We want to help you find a guarantee on your funds that are actually outside of banking laws, outside of securities laws. And guess what? You get a guarantee on your funds. You get a guarantee on your principal. Go to greenmoneysolutions.com, fill out your information, and let's just see if you qualify. And I know we have audio listeners. This is S&P 500. This is not the chart. But this is what happens, guys. This is what happens here. Oh my goodness. Check this out. Holy smoke. This is the first time he's seeing this. Whoa. I've told you guys. So this is the dollar. This is what happened in 2020. This is when all these gold salesmen were like, I'm telling you, the dollar is crashing. It's going to be worthless. You got to buy gold and silver, particularly in the IRA, so I can scam you 30% on the buy and scam you on 30% on the sell side. And the dollar is going down. You believe they never showed you the chart. You just knew that the dollar was going down. But check this out, guys. There's a 4-hour chart on the US dollar. Once it hits a bottom, there's a buy signal. People got their butts kicked when they bought it in February. This is where that silver meltdown happened, right here when the dollar cranked up. Then recently in early March, or right before March, it came right back down to 96. And look what it's been doing since then. Boom. It went right back to its well-beholden home. Oh my gosh. This is dangerous, guys. So here's a buy signal at 97. The dollar got pumped up like crazy back to parity at over 100. Then you start to see the dollar come back down. This is extremely volatile. Goes back up, goes down, and look at this sucker right now. We're almost back to 100 at parity. So your silver temporarily is going to go down. All they got to do is pump up the dollar. So for many of you that have your retirement in precious metals, you are losing your butt right now. And this is not going away. That's on a 4-hour chart. 1-hour chart, dollar still pumping up. And here's our daily chart. Let me fan this out a little bit so we can see it better. Oh yeah, here it is. I'm saying it on public record. Your precious metals is going to go down, possibly this week. We got a buy signal. When I get to the vertical bar as well as the blue cross and all this momentum going up, the dollar is getting pumped up right now. Right now. If you're watching it this weekend, definitely Monday, you're going to see your precious metals take another nosedive. What is that going to do for you? How does that make you feel that you're going to lose more money in your precious metals? I'm saying it right now. I say it confidently because I'm looking at the daggone dollar, guys. I don't fall into this, oh, the dollar's crashing and the liabilities is off to the heart. Yes, that is true. But guys, you need to understand the same people manipulating the dollar are the same idiots and Luciferians that are manipulating the whole freaking thing. You can't just buy precious metals and say, I'm safe. The dollar is going to crash. It's not crashing, y'all. Look at it. The freaking dollar is skyrocketing right now. I'm showing you the chart because the charts don't lie. And I've never started this podcast to cater to anybody's feelings. Honestly, could care less about your feelings because I want to show you the chart. My job is to protect you and grow your asset, not just from a stock market collapse, from a CBDC takeover, from the track and trace takeover, from the spiritual side of what Lucifer wants to do to you and your family.
from the longevity side, if we are living longer, how is your money going to last that long? People are so caught up in NVIDIA and the Apple and the Google and the AI and the whole big tech on why this market's going up. It's only fragmented by 7 freaking stocks, the magnificent 7. And when we go into it and we go to our Sunday barbecue after church or Sunday restaurant, and your brothers and sisters in your church say, you know, Russell, all you got to do is buy NVIDIA and you'll make a killing. Or I've been investing in Google and Amazon and Microsoft and Tesla, and I made 22%. And you get all like, dang, I looked at my managed accounts, I only made 7%, or I only made 8%. Or I look at my green money accounts, my junk hasn't even changed. What is going on? Because you don't know how to look at it. You get caught up and you get sucked in. Like, there's so many people that have canceled their safe accounts, their good accounts, amazing accounts, lost money because they wanted to buy the gold scam, the precious metal scam. And they got waxed. They got waxed, man. And you're about to get more waxed right now when this dollar pumps up. I couldn't believe I see a bar, a vertical bar. In order for me to get a vertical bar, literally so many things have to financially align up right now. And this vertical bar basically is pretty much accurate. I can't say the G word, but when I get this bar, the bias of it going up is about 98% accuracy. There's always some risk. This thing could completely turn red. Never know. But how does that make you feel knowing that you got your money out there? You don't even know if it's going to go up or down, or you're going to hope. I told you it would go to 90 and it's going to come right back down, because you know why? I was looking at the dollar. I wasn't looking at precious metals. I was looking at actual dollar. And so let's go ahead and look at something else here. So I want to confirm. This is silver. It was at 87. Now 81. Now 75. Guys, bro, this is insane. You see this big red turn here, and this is on a daily. I'll show you on a 4-hour. Look at this massive drawdown. This is going to pick up so much steam. And here's the wild part, is that our volatility right now is at 18.42. So that means markets are going to go down. Your precious metals going down. The bag of goods you were sold, you thought the market, when it goes down, that your precious metals will go up. It's further from the truth. You can only assume that it would go down. But this is what red money is, guys. Red money has a limited loss, limited gains, and you have no principal protection. You don't even have the ability to forecast accurately. And many of you have called and said the dollar's crashing. I know it. The Lord told me the dollar's crashing, and I rubbed my belly 3 times, and finally the Dallas Cowboys won on a Sunday, and God told me that silver is going to go up. I just know it. Literally, these are the conversations I've had with people. And I'm like, okay, great. I'm glad God told you. So let's look at the chart. Well, why would you want to look at that? This is how far we've gotten. We've gotten so into our own understanding that we are completely blind. And don't get me wrong. This is you. I love you. I mean this out of love. But let me do my job that God has called me to do. Is to help you. Is to steward you. Because I know you love the cross. I know you love this country. I know you love your family. I know you want to do the right thing. But do not take your political and emotional beliefs into this world. Because that's what Satan wants. He wants to keep you asleep at the wheel. Guys, so be careful this week with precious metals. If you're trying to sell out of it, give us a call, or you can give Cornerstone a call. So yeah, you can call Cornerstone. For those of you on audio right now, listening to me on audio, just call Cornerstone, 888-747-3309. I don't trust anybody else, man. Like these Birch Gold, American Heritage, Gold Co., they have screwed so many of you guys, in my opinion. I'm talking about 25, 35, 40%. I've heard even Terry even told me that there was someone that did like 80% on the sell side. This is just disgusting. A good broker is going to make, 5, maybe 10% on the buy and sell side. Guys, that's fair. You're going to have to pay something. You're going to have to pay something. There's a cost to refine these metals, to melt it, to wrap it, shrink wrap it, QR code, certify every ounce of metal, and have it shipped to you. So yeah, they're providing a service. You got to pay them, and it's worth it. Only if you trade at the right spot. But the moment you start getting into these IRAs and listening to these celebrities say, oh, you need to buy gold and silver, this is when you get hurt. So I hate to be a bearer of bad news, but yeah, your precious metals are going to take a dump this week. My opinion. Let me know if I'm wrong. I'll take all the heat. But the charts don't lie. And that's what we do here. We talk about the charts. We talk about scriptures. We talk about retirement planning. We talk about our faith. And we tell it like it is. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. Oh. And in my opinion, this has to be amazing. Like, I wanted to go back to the QQQ charts. So the reason why I'm confident is because I have a index that already takes all this into consideration. When the dollar is crashing, when the dollar's pumping, when the economy is in the crapper, when the job market is unstable, when there's nothing to do, I have an index that automatically, using AI and human day traders, that will shift from the NASDAQ to cash, from cash to the treasuries, from treasuries back to the NASDAQ. It's just 3 things. That's it. And 2 out of the 3 are completely safe. Do you have that working for you while you're at the job, while you're delivering trucks, while you're a mechanic, while you're working on people's teeth, while you are booking plans, while you are hustling at your job? Do you have something automated where it's going to protect you like bumper rails going bowling so you can keep on producing and knocking pennants? I do. My clients do. And this is why this is so important. This is what it looks like quantitatively and qualitatively. In 1 year, having a system in place on a green money side, our clients on the green money side made 19.12% on their index on a 1 year. On a 3 year, 8.43 is not terrible. And over 10-year time frame, 11.48. Now, obviously, this depends on when you got in. But year to date, guys, we're already up 7.23 when the NASDAQ is up 8%. So I'm getting this with no fees, no risk, principal protection. You have the ability to grow your asset without being caught up in this Luciferian trap. Your bonds don't even come close to this, because I'm outpacing your bond, your 3 or 4% bond. Plus, by the way, when they raise interest rates, you're going to lose more money on the principal of your bonds. A lot of you haven't even caught up from the bond market, from the meltdown of 2022 to 2024. You are sitting on it so you can get those coupons to reinvest, buy more bonds. That is your way. That is your asset recovery program. There's no need to have that moving forward when you have a bond alternative that is going to protect your principal, and all the growth, you just simply take it out as your income. There's so much opportunity right now. And if the stock market crashes, woo, watch me smile. Watch me call it out and watch me smile. And I'll be calling all my clients and partying and giving them a high five and say, hey, good job. Good job. You didn't lose 30, 40%. You know that neighbor that was talking about NVIDIA, how they made 43% in 18 months and they're up? Now you can show them your account. You can show them that the money is actually made when the stock market goes down. The money is actually repositioned, and the wealthy and the knowledge are made when the market's going down. When there's fear and greed, there's tactical components that you can do right this second to protect your money. We have that power. God's word says he has given us the ability to have knowledge, seek counsel. And 2 Timothy 1:7 says, I have not given you the spirit of fear, but of love, power, and sound mind. How are we utilizing the gifts that he's given us to reposition our retirement? He doesn't want you to be poor. You are God's children. You have the ability to have a long, healthy life here. You will face trials and tribulations, like it says in James 1:5. Consider it pure freaking joy, brothers and sisters, when you face trials and tribulations, because the perseverance of the Lord will be there. Will hold you through. He will have you in the palm of his hand. He will never leave you. He will never forsake you. He has given us the authority to provide for our families, to have the overhaul. This is why I'm confident. This is why I love what I do, because we literally change people's lives. You don't have to get suckered into the 08s. You don't have to get suckered into your mom and dad being a Walmart greeter. There's so many good options out there. And I'll always go back to your advisor. Do you believe in what they believe in? Are they working for the banks that are working against you? Are you funding their agenda? Are you funding this disgusting LGBT, pathetic, non-binary agenda that want to destroy our kids? There's kids out there that want to act like animals and they call them furries. And God did not design for us to be that. It's sickening what Satan is doing in our schools. It's sickening what they're doing to our taxes and our retirement. There's a whole spiritual side of this that we don't even talk about, because the passive will pay the penalty. We keep on funding it. We keep on funding it. We keep on funding it. We dollar cost average into these things. And meanwhile, while that account is growing, as you think it is, they're taking all that growth and they're utilizing it to fund things that you don't even believe in. Give us a call. We want to help you. I want you to have the spiritual confidence as well as the financial confidence going into retirement. Making money is so easy for me in the markets. You just have to hire me so I can show you. Protecting your money is even easier from the CBDCs, from the stock market crashes. I wish I could say, here's all my clients, call them. I wish, but I can't. I legally cannot do that. It's client confidentiality. So let me say my disclosure. Everything on this podcast is meant for information and education purposes only. I'm not giving financial advice. If you would like financial advice, give us a call, 813-448-3446. But guys, it's time to get right. Kevin Warsh is coming in. A lot of people don't even know what that means to the economy. The dollar is pumping up right now. The dollar is pumping up right now. I'm really, really concerned for many of you that have your whole retirement based on your feelings in an IRA that the government knows exactly where it's at. You don't even own the IRA. And you say, oh, well, I'm in Delaware and I'm in Texas. Can you really believe that the government gives a flip of it if it's in Delaware or Texas, in an account that they own, that the commodities is based on this index that completely controls the buy and sells? Do you really believe that? Why in the world would you tell the government where your money is at? Do you know that gold is a tier 1 currency? They have the rights to your gold. They could tell you anything and everything, but they can claim it. What if they turn precious metals like silver into a tier 1 currency? The only reason why it hasn't is because it's an industrial metal and they need it to build AI. But you know that everything going on right now, they need the data centers. They need the missile upgrades. They need the solar panels. They need the track, trace, and control agenda. They're going to find a way to take your silver. And that's by pumping up the dollar. Goes against everything you've been taught the past 2 years. I told you guys this is going to blow up in your freaking face. And here we are. You need to have green money. You need to have protection, contractual protection on your money, period. I'm not saying it's worth all your money. I'm just saying that a good portion of your money needs to be contractually guaranteed to have a principal protected account that will grow. So if that's you, give us a call, 813-448-3446. You can visit us at cortezwm.com, book an appointment, and we're bringing on some new help so I can service everybody. It doesn't matter if you got 10,000 or 10 million. We want to help everybody. I'm not that guy. I'm not motivated by money. I'm motivated by being an impact. I'm motivated by, dang, I really want to talk to that guy. Because you know what? I actually give a darn about your current situation. Because my work is working to the Lord. I'm not driven by money. I'm driven by being an impact. If I can save any American from this garbage that's going on, that is my mission. They can put a bullet in my neck. I don't care. I will completely speak the truth. I'm not afraid of anything. I don't run by fear. I don't live by fear. My confidence comes from the Lord. And I want you to have that confidence too. Anyways, guys, I'm out of here. My son's looking at me like, yo, we got to go. Love y'all. God bless. Bye-bye. And don't forget to like and subscribe our Rumble channel, our YouTube channel, Spotify, as well as Apple Podcasts. And get your peptides from GetMeLeanUSA.com. Help support the show. They're a great partner of ours. GetMeLeanUSA.com to lose weight, to feel good, and to sleep well. God bless. Bye-bye.
So how many times have we gotten lost in the minutia of the everyday life? We've gotten fat, we've gotten lazy, we've gotten complacent, not just in our faith, but also our fitness, maybe our finances, maybe our marriage, maybe our family. But we've gotten complacent, and we constantly need to continue to grow. And one of the things I was weak at was in my fitness. As a former athlete, I thought I had it all. My ego got in the way. I'm like, I'll do it later. I'll do it later. Up until now, I have been able to focus on my fitness. For those of you who've been following me for 3 or 4 years, you understand that I've gained a lot of weight. I've used the excuse of having 4 kids, a marriage, a business, helping out at church, all these excuses. And I keep putting myself in the back burner. This is deadly. And what I love about this company, what I love about taking ownership, is that GetMeLeanUSA.com has the ability to introduce natural, groundbreaking peptides. What your body demands, what your body needs to release those fat stored cells, to build muscle, to gain your physical being back to where it's naturally supposed to be. We're not talking about big pharma saying we're going to come out with the weight loss drug. We're not talking about losing muscle. We're talking about gaining muscle, gaining your physique back, controlling your appetite, giving you the edge that you need to help you get your body back in check the way God intended it to be, by using his resources with America First products, with America First company that aligns and believes in what you believe in. Introducing GetMeLeanUSA.com. Get in. This is going to be groundbreaking, huge business opportunity, as well as a huge groundbreaking technology that is going to change the landscape. So I know good things before I see it, and I highly recommend you get in. All you got to do is click the link below and get you some fit, get you some lean, and get fit and get lean. This is not going to do everything. Of course, diet and exercise, you continue your walking, continue your protein intake, but man, does it make it a whole lot easier to get in shape. Look at me, I've lost 60 pounds, but this is actually fundamentally a great recipe to get back in shape. And I can personally attest to the amazing effects of this product. So go to GetMeLeanUSA.com. You won't regret it. You can cancel anytime. They're affordable, and yet they're effective. And you are supporting our show. You're supporting yourself. You're supporting a mission. There is an affiliate program attached to it if you would want to share it with your friends and family. There's a whole nother opportunity there. But more importantly, let's get your fitness back in check. God bless you. Carlos Cortez here, signing out. It's back in check. God bless you. Carlos Cortez here, signing out.